How do you hit your goals? How do you set an FKT? How do you finish a 200-mile race? Well, the secret is in the schedule, and I like to call it the 24-hour schedule. It gives you flexibility, keeps you on track, and here's how it works. So your goal, if it's 200 miles, an FKT, a Fastpacking Adventure, it's inherently long. It's longer than really you can think about or conceptualize, and you're not going to hit it in a single day. So because of that, I like to break it up. You got to break it up. First, I like to break it into thirds. So on the Colorado Trail record attempt, I took 9 days as my goal. The first 3 days, I was planning to sleep 5 hours a night. Second 3 days, the middle third, I was planning to sleep 3 to 4 hours a night. And then the final third was going to be the push to the end and go by feel and just move as fast as possible. But then within those chunks, I break it up into 24-hour periods, meaning within that 24 hours, I want to hit my mileage goal. Let's say my mileage goal is 55 miles, and I start my race or my FKT at 6 a.m. That means I have until 6 a.m. the next day to finish those 55 miles. And if I budgeted 5 hours of sleep a night, I can throw that 5 hours anywhere I need. Maybe it's 2 naps. Maybe it's 5-hour chunk from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. This 5 hours should go wherever it's going to maximize your productivity. And by that, I mean, when you start moving slower, when you get tired, when even you're hallucinating, that's when you can throw in that sleep. You use it exactly when you need it, and it can be anytime. This is how you can listen to your body and use that to get you back on track versus budgeting exactly when you're going to sleep and doing it then. The key is to use that time that you're not moving productively.
All right, it's time to night hike. Time to make up some miles. I'm trying to pump myself up right now. Oh, excuse me.
So I planned it out into thirds and then take 24-hour chunks at a time with an individual goal. And then I take every little bit of that day and make it flexible. So maybe I get to 11 p.m. and I'm just moving like a zombie. This is when I throw in that sleep. Or like Cocodona 250. I moved really well through the entire first night, was good, hit my goal. I hit about a little over 100 miles on the first 24-hour chunk, which was a little ahead of my goal, but I felt good and was still in that productive zone. So I could even take mileage from the next day, and I'd already covered it. So I'm ahead of pace for that next day. So I've already covered miles that are allotted and fit into that next day. This is how you can stay flexible and maximize when you're in that productive zone and minimize the unproductive zone, because you're going to need to sleep in, say, a 250-mile race or a 500-mile record attempt or a 7-day Fastpacking Adventure, and putting that sleep when it's going to have the most impact and minimize all that time that you're moving in the unproductive zone. Because every mile you're moving in the unproductive zone, it's taking away. You're going to have to move faster later. This was in a previous video I did, but think of it like your goal to hit your record is moving at a average moving pace of 3 miles an hour. So if you're moving for 2 hours at 2 miles an hour, you've got to make up 2 more miles somewhere. So it's more productive to take that chunk that's 2 hours that you're going to be moving unproductively and sleep.
I just took my 5-minute evening siesta.
Whether that's 9 p.m., 11 p.m., 1 a.m., finding when your body needs that sleep and that reset is when you can do it. And breaking it into these 24-hour chunks just adds this layer of flexibility that I know when I need to call it a day and take a nap, and then I wake up whenever. So if I wake up at 3 a.m. and I started at 6 a.m., I have this 3 bonus hour period where I'm recharged after resting, and I can move for those 3 hours in the productive zone and get back to the daily mileage that I want to hit for that first 24-hour chunk. It helps you move the mileage and the rest around so that each chunk hits that goal. And this is when that planning process starts. If you have that 3-day period where you want to cover 55 miles a day, by putting in the sleep wherever you need it helps you average out to that 55 miles, whether you're sleeping during the day, whether you're taking 3 naps, whether you're taking 1 chunk at night. It just really helps break it up and mentally feel like you're moving forward and on track. This works really well for 200 milers too, because if you're zombie walking and you're moving behind that goal pace, then it's better to just take a reset or a trail nap. Maybe it's just laying down and doing nothing and letting your body just decompress for a little bit. This 24-hour schedule is really the secret to my success on setting FKTs on the John Muir Trail, Arizona Trail, Long Trail, Colorado Trail, doing 5 different 200 plus mile races. And by doing that, I've just give myself the grace to go to sleep when I know I need to, rather than just pushing forward with no ability to move at the pace that is the goal pace. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, whatever you want to do. That's my secret to FKTs, 200-mile races, and hitting your goals.
After 15 and a half days, I made it to the border.